Howie Solomon would probably fire me as a client if he knew I was talking to you.
Well, things are the same on my end. Do you have any idea what the DA would do to me?
Well, tell me why you're here.
The van. With New York plates. It's still troubling me.
The van I've never seen before in my life. Last time I was in New York was 16 years ago. For my honeymoon.
Okay. I didn't know that, but I knew you hadn't been there recently. We, of course, backtracked your movements for 6 months. And there's nothing but a family vacation to Dayton.
And we flew both directions for that, as I'm sure you know.
Look, I'm just as baffled by this conflicting evidence as you are.
Well, hey, you gonna tell me why you're here?
The TV footage. It puts you at the teachers' conference in Cap City. At the same time, Frankie Peterson was murdered 60 miles away. But I also have reliable witnesses. Reliable witnesses that say they saw you walking around covered in Frankie Peterson's blood. Your prints are all over the van, the crime scene, the boy.
You want me to explain all that to you?
No,
Good.
because you can't.
Right.
Right. No one can. On March 30th, 2019, did you have any physical or verbal contact with Frankie Peterson?
Nope.
On March 30th, 2019, did you abduct Frankie Peterson?
No.
On March 30th, 2019, did you murder Frankie Peterson, Terry?
I didn't kill that kid, Ralph. That it?
For tonight. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You know, Ralph, when you arrested me in front of all those people at that game, you asked me if I ever touched your son, Derek. Do you remember that?
Be very careful about what you say next.
In all the years I've been coaching Little League, your son Derek was the best drag bunter I've ever had. And he was just a little guy. He was so small. Smallest kid on the team. But he had a lot of guts. He wasn't afraid to crowd the plate, even if some great big 8th grader was throwing heat right at him. And most kids that short, you just count on them for walks, but he wasn't having it. He just kept going up to the plate, swinging, striking out. All the kids, they started calling him the Whiffer. Secretly, they called him Whiffer. I told them to stop, but they were just 12 and 11. Only time he ever got on base was when he got hit by a pitch, so tough to blame him. But I noticed he wasn't gonna quit. He just kept going up there, swinging, striking out. I taught him how to bunt. Not a lot of kids like to do that. They're afraid they'll come up to the plate, drop the bat, fastball comes in, they get their fingers smashed. But not him. He never flinched. Not once. And he flew down that first base line. Little legs going. God, he was fast. Do you know how many bunt singles he got? A lot more than I expected. And the kids, they stopped calling him Whiffer. They started calling him Push It. He'd come up to the plate. Runners on the corners, they'd say, "Push it, Derek. Push it." So he got a new handle. And we almost won district that year. You must have noticed a change in him, right? You remember that summer?
Yeah.
He was more confident, more bold. And I don't want you to get the wrong impression here, but I taught him that. I taught him how to bunt. So you ask me if I ever touched your son. I really hope I did.